Hello. Okay, so today we're going to talk about energy, and we're going to relate it to the research that we do. So, did you know the word energy from the Indo-European root is poti, meaning powerful, and from the Greek word energia means activity or operation, basically being at work. To fully grasp the workings of our world, one must understand the various kinds of energy. Every single event that occurs in this world is an energy transformation of a particular type. The sum total of energy in the world is constant. It's an infinite flow, and it manifests itself in various forms. These forms can undergo transformations. Energy can only be indirectly observed and measured as it manifests itself in these different forms. It can be further characterized through its observed properties. So, what kind of energies are there? Well, basically, they're all either kinetic or potential. Kinetic energy is due to movement. Potential energy is stored and waiting to happen. Now, these can be further broke down by the characteristics of the energy itself. So we have different kinds. We have mechanical, thermal, electrical, nuclear, sound, electromagnetic, chemical, light, and thoughts, just to name a few. So let's talk about carbon. Carbon is a chemical element, and it's a pretty common one. It's the sixth most common element in the world, and the 15th most common in our Earth's crust. Unlike a lot of other chemical elements, you can see some forms of carbon. Diamonds are one form of carbon. So, science says that most of the carbon is deep in the earth. For once, I'll sort of agree with them. Amorphous carbon is a third form of carbon, and it's a lot harder to see since, unlike diamonds and graphite, it doesn't have a crystalline structure. It's commonly known as coal. So carbon is the building block for all life on Earth, and a good chunk of the total amount of it that's held in the Earth is living or dead organic molecules. So, how does this tie to volcanoes? Well, the carbon cycle comes from the volcanoes, from the process happening in the underworld. And eventually, after it comes to surface and cools, it becomes rock or mineral. It does become our new land. This is the creation process. Angel technologies below are what cause lava, the carbon, and the volcanoes. These are the vents of the underworld and the designed waste and recycle system. Through the creation system, what is needed gets used. What isn't needed or has fault is pushed to the waste holding tanks, or the magma chambers. When the basins get full, they release and a cleaning occurs. These are our eruptions. Some have a steady flow for long periods. So you have to kind of think of it that all these different tubes are leading to a certain spot, the basin, the holding tank. And if there's so many, it has to steady flow out. We can see this with Hawaii. So I took some time and outlined a whole lot of the tubes that indeed lead to Hawaii. And you can see why it had to have a steady flow. Somewhere along the line, it must have bottlenecked recently, and I think that led to the explosion, or old tubes that weren't used opened up. So then we do have our exploders, the ones that blow every time. They're usually high in silicon, and when they become full, they do blow. So when this cleanse happens, the lava comes up from the chamber through the lava tubes. These tubes appear to be constructed, as we can see here in these photos. There is little to no lava traces after the tube has cleared. So this tells me it's designed to push the waste up and out and clear the tube until the next cleaning cycle. These lava tube systems run for miles and miles and connect to grids on the underside. As we can see here, I've connected several of these systems. We speculate there must be shutoffs to these, so to speak. Something will shut off the flow, which allows the tubes to be cleared. The ancients knew this process very well, and they shared these processes with us. We used ancient Egyptian script to show one of the many processes that lead to the need to expel the waste. So at this point, I'm going to hand it over so we can get into how these conclusions came to by us. Thank you.